Yeah, I thought he was just doing that for the memes. I thought he was gonna alter it a little bit.
I think he will.
You think he will? All right.
I mean, it looks awfully uncomfortable, right? Like it looks like
You want to have a
yeah,
bet?
it would have to be unjustifiably cold. Because you want to bet? You said
Yeah.
throughout the match, sure. $50.
50?
No,
You think I made him money, cats?
I mean
You think Age of Empires has been going that well for me?
I thought our swimming bet was for like $100.
Our swimming bet was like 500.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
Because I know for sure I'm going to win that, but this one I'm not so sure about. But
I mean,
okay, we'll do until the last map. Okay, for $20.
Yeah. Okay, sounds good to me.
Okay, nice. That's what we're focusing on now, ladies and gentlemen. Oh,
but what if he undoes it after the first map? Do I get like a bonus?
Wait, what? Why should you get a bonus?
Because like I don't know, like it's like a 2-0.
This is until the first map, mate.
Okay. Whoa, until the first map? No, you said until the last map.
What?
Like until the series ends.
No, just the first map being over.
Oh, what? No. I'm not digging that. Because like the first map, you can do the thing where, oh, I dropped it, but I wasn't playing at my full strength type thing, and then he takes off the hoodie. Like I feel like that can be a thing after the first map. But I don't think that he will play the entire series like this for sure.
All right, then we can just watch it as observers. If you're not a betting man.
Observers, no betting. Okay.
If you're not a betting man, cats, I understand.
I am a betting man. I just proposed what the threshold that I am willing to bet on is, and you're trying to scam me. I think that he's definitely gonna stay with like this on the first map. Like he's already engaged.
I'm not a scammer. I remember last time we made a bet in that, like, what was it, a laser game?
When I made a bet against the wind. Yeah, you did forgive the bet. Yeah, you're right. You're not a scammer.
Yeah, I'm not a scammer. Yeah. I'm a legit gambler.
You're a legit gambler. That is true.
All right, so this game thus far, I actually like Vindicta's build here. This is a 3-Rex. And, if you're feeling a little uncomfortable in a hoodie where, you can hardly see out of, I think this is the kind of build you do. Or a 4-gate.
All right, well, let's see. There's going to be Blink Stalkers on the other side of things. That is pretty standard, right? On the Proto side of things, Ben? Like, how does it fare against 3-Rex?
I mean, Blink is a pretty good opening against everything. Like, I don't mean, like, super favorable, but it's a very decent opening to do. And DisK, in fact, quite a few of the NA players, when I used to play against them, a lot of the ladder players used to go for, okay, what is the build that's pretty okay against everything? And it is Blink. You just have to, like, let's say he did like a 4-gate Blink, which was super shameless. He'd probably be in very good shape. But if you're doing it like he's doing, which is safe, probably into the third base. He's got 2 gates up now. In fact, how many? Is it 2 warp gates? Yeah, okay, so it's just going to be a nice third base play by him by the looks of it. But once he gets some scouting done with this Adept, Vindicta's doing a good job of denying it. Third does start.
Yeah. Third to start, indeed. There's going to be, obviously, Stim coming up now on the side of Vindicta. Is he going to have to push out? Do you have to push out? I guess he is pushing out now.
Oh, yeah. Wait, look how late his Stim and Combat Shield is. Normally, you want that timed out together with this push, but he went for Concussive Shell first, which could catch DisK off guard, and that's exactly what it does here. So he will lose at least 1 Stalker. Blink isn't yet done. But still, I don't really like this from Vindicta. I liked it until I didn't. And that's just because he kind of did his own little thing on it.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I too liked it until I didn't, and now I don't like it anymore.
It's almost like when you say he would have won if he played better. And it's like, well, duh.
Duh. There's going to be an Immortal now in production for a Discus. And I like that one. Always, pretty much.
I like the Starport as well. That means medevacs. Good move.
That is a great move. Like, we're going to need some medevacs if we're ever going to win a game. And we can tell by the reactor next to it that we're going to see double medevacs even, Ben.
Oh, and do you like that one?
I love it. It's, twice as many at a time.
You're so silly.
You're silly. I am just exhausted, Ben. Like, I don't know. Like, earlier, the chat was like, pretty judgy, you know? Like, even our producer was like, hey, like, are you okay? I'm like, what?
Oh, you felt you were being judged a little.
A little. Like, you were making fun of, like, how slow I was to say my name, you know?
Oh, to be fair, it did sound like you forgot what your name was.
Yeah, I did not. I was just considering my options, you know?
Like what you're... Yeah, either Cats or is it Paolo?
Yeah.
Or is it... Yeah, okay,
Our
I see.
producer was like, hey, you look a little tired. You want to stretch? I'm like, really? Like, I'm getting, you know, some...
Actually, that was great. He was like, yeah, I used to teach kids, you know, and I used to make them like, do stretches. Do you want to do stretches? It's like, oh, yeah, teach.
I'm like, okay, I guess I'll go do a stretch. Can I finish my beef jerky first?
Oh,
so this is pretty good, though, however, as the stalkers are going to have to run away.
Yeah, stop them from getting into the main. That could have slowed things down quite a bit. DisK going for Storm and Charge lots here. So you saw a lot of triggers play before. He was like, all right, I'm all about the Colossus tech. DisK so far, very much not about that kind of tech. And Storm, I mean, if you land them, can be crazy. With the Warp Prism allows you a lot of counterattack plays as well. DisK's economy is quite a lot better than Vindicta's this game, but you can't be too crazy about it.
Yeah, Vindicta's moving out enough that DisK feels threatened, so he morphs actually the High Templars that he would have liked probably to keep for Storm and gathering that energy into Archons, because he deems it important to hold right now. So Storm finished, right? And there's the first Storm, actually. There's still 2 High Templars available. Only 1 Archon was morphed by the looks of it.
Very good Storm, and the big game drop in the main base. It's just one medevac that runs flies all the way around and does a good job.
Yeah, there is Blink available. That medevac has to be careful. It's going to go to half HP, as not all of the stalkers do connect their shots. 3 probes go down. That's not that many. At the same time, Vindicta is not really too heavily relying on this, right? He has his own 3rd, so he seems to have transitioned nicely as well.
Do you remember that medevacs used to deal, like medevac drops in particular, used to deal so much damage in wings, except they were so slow? Man, we all must have been so freaking bad at StarCraft to let that happen, because whenever I see a medevac with that boost, I'm like, man, that's the slowest thing in the world.
Yeah, I mean, completely. I remember in Wings of Liberty, one of the things that I always thought about that I sometimes bring up is still, because it's like very vivid thought, is like burrowing Banelings. I thought I should burrow Banelings, but then I couldn't think of what the path was. And now I look at it and it's just so fucking, so freaking obvious. You know, it's like, just click on the other base and you know what the path is. It's like, wow, like I couldn't think of that, you know, and I was competing at that point. So it's like, you know, and I thought of myself as a thoughtful player too. So thinking back on that, I feel a little pathetic, to be honest.
No, that's good. That's good. I mean, hindsight's a beautiful thing. And, you know, it took us a long time to figure out that we could split our units.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the first time we see it being done against slow Pains. No, I think it was like Marine King Prime on that. He played against that. Frick. It was a Xenex player or something. And it was like, oh my God, he's splitting against the splash. And it's like, oh my God, how did we not think about that? But yeah, I mean, awesome times. This Zealot run by is a lot of Zealots. This is going to get real spicy.
Yeah. The medevac is not doing too much here, as the rest of the army of Vindicta will push on forward, and it's not really doing all that much at the moment. The Immortals are really in numbers here. 3 is pretty good for the number of Marauders out here. A Storm will kind of connect. The Zealots, like you were saying, though, Ben, are being ruthless here, but a good SCV surround and a hold position around that bunker will make it very difficult for them to breach. So it's all about this fight at the front.
That is a real ballsy Warp Prism here, just flying in through the fire, and so much damage being done here. Like, this does stay alive. Oh, that was a nice dodge, actually. Really nice dodge. But that, I think Vindicta's play so far has been really good, man. Like, Vindicta's playing a lot better than I kind of gave him credit for initially. The bunker positioning as well at that 3rd base. I love the fact that he's got that little gap where all the Zealots kind of choked up and stuff. Just very good.
Yeah, it was a very, very good defense there with the SCVs as well. And now he has he has pretty fluidly transitioned into the Ghosts and whatnot as well. His army is pretty complex. And it looks strong here to take on DisK. DisK, however, with an Observer will be able to clear a lot of these mines. He's being very careful with the Observer as well, not to push it too far forward so that a scan can take it down. So keeping it right on top of the Stalkers, right out of range. Good job by him, as he gets maybe ready to take an engagement here. All of those mines did go down for free.
They certainly did, but he's still ahead in supply, and he's got more SCVs, which is kind of cool. And DisK's transition here into the second Robo and Robo Bay, super late. And the fact that there are how many ghosts in this army? A good 6 or so? I mean, if Vindicta lands these EMPs, that army of DisK is just going to melt, man. Like, DisK needs to buy time for that 2-2 finish to really have a good shot, I feel.
Yeah, and that storm wasn't particularly hot, and there's only one storm remaining in the War Prism, or two maybe. Definitely not in the High Templar. That's not in the War Prism at the moment. Vindicta is actually going to open up the door, which I think is not favorable for him. Like, I think he would rather not have the door open, because there's only one more storm remaining, right? So now I think that the Zealots actually get more surface area from that. What do you think?
We'll see, we'll see. I mean, at this point, oh, those are some juicy EMPs. That army itself from Vindicta doesn't look that big. Okay. Way more coming in from the back here. Lots more EMPs. That shield battery overcharge, he can just snipe that bad boy down if he wants to. Doesn't go for it, actually. Lands some EMPs, backs off a little bit.
War Prism falls. There was 1 or 2 Templars. There may be one more storm remaining. And here comes the blink forward. And again, like, I think that the floodgates are open with those rocks being taken down. So I think DisK is going to be able to take the engagement. Again, I prefer chokes. I mean, if you have bio, if it comes up and you have the range advantage over the Zealots, I prefer the choke for the Terran player here. But yeah, Vindicta had a different idea, and he's going to pay a little bit for it. Still very far ahead in supply, still very well situated at the 4th, and has a 5th on the way as well. So I'd say, regardless of getting pushed back, he is in a great spot.
I see what you're saying about the choke thing, and I think you are right, especially if there's no storm. Obviously, with the storm, it's kind of like you don't want to be in a choke or against force. I guess also it removes the possibility of force field screwing you up really hard. So it's like if he just wanted a bit more dance room, then it's okay. But
I think it's fine. It's fine. Like in a vacuum, I think it's fine. But in this particular scenario, you saw the Templars. You know that there's maybe one storm left in the War Prism, and you know that there's no sentries.
Certainly. Oh, all right. Disruptors, the unit of choice, by the way. Already got 4 on the field. More joining. DisK is very upgrade heavy, by the way. A lot of Protosses these days, I think Max Packs really popularized it. Like, just damage upgrades. And then you get big things like Colossus dealing damage. You get the Disruptors afterwards and stuff. Whereas DisK is still a bit of a bruiser.
A little bit of a bruiser, my boy. Can we bring out the Scottish accent? I recognized it earlier, but I couldn't really.
You know, I might do it at some point, Cats, but it's mainly just for your private ears. But I was thinking about the Banelings, how you found them a bit difficult where to put them, and I was thinking about Moon when he put down those Banelings. Do you remember? You know the clip I'm talking about?
No.
No, you don't. Oh my god, I'm gonna have to show you this clip because Moon had maybe the worst Baneling bomb attempt of all time.
Oh,
and I'm just thinking that maybe he also struggled at thinking about the paths that people
Ben, it wasn't like in retrospect, it is completely obvious, but back then it just wasn't. You know, it's like we take so much for granted as human beings, but when we start with the process, we are pretty stupid, you know?
Mate, when I show you this, when you see these Banelings, like, you're going to laugh your head off because it's so freaking funny. I hope Zombie Grub also is getting it for us just so we can have a look after this game because it's beautiful, man. And he must have been thinking, man, which is the path that units take? Like, he must have.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, another impairment that I had, I guess, when it came to Banelings was like I definitely don't have the actions to actually, burrow them and think about like where the units are gonna come from and stuff like that. So like I thought burrow Banelings would be so good, no one scans, etc. Like I had that idea for this matchup. I just could never execute it until like a year later, And yeah, I mean it's kind of sad, and yeah, it's not something that I share. But it's true.
Yeah, normally when I think of the difficult things to do, I just think about, oh man, that's difficult. I didn't think about like, oh man, where do units move?
Yeah.
But
That's just common sense now.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Oh, dude, like this game's actually turning. Oh my goodness, that is a crazy blink. This game's actually turning into a real good one. These are ranged libs with +2. Like they deal a lot of damage, and this army from DisK isn't the best at dealing with what Vindicta has, honestly, especially from one angle like this.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there is a ton of disruptors though, so the potential is there, but they're gonna have to connect, and the Liberators are kind of the counter to that in a sense, right? They zone out the disruptors really nicely, so as long as Vindicta is that kind of giving a little bit of scraps here and there to DisK for him to pick up. So how do you win as the Protoss?
How do you win as Protoss? I mean, you can obviously take a really good fight and just snowball. You want to keep this disruptor, or rather the Liberator count, really low. But you also want to kind of wrap around it. And disruptors are way better at being aggressive than being defensive. Like, way better. So this is not where DisK wants to be at all. But some Colossus in the mix would help a lot, just for keeping your army a bit sturdy. And some run buys. He needs to he needs to get Vindicta back in one way or another.
No! The units are going to be exposed a little bit there. I mean, Vindicta has really lost a little bit too many units to these disruptors, right? Like his army was pretty big, and now it's not.
Yes, he just needs to keep enough units alive, because we look at the production tab, it's just a lot of Liberators, right? And this number's going to get to numbers like 12 plus. And then trying to take them down, it's going to be so freaking hard, man. Oh, I love this big pickup here.
Huge.
And that's a nice little wraparound by DisK, but it's kind of like, okay, you get all the Liberators, that's great. Now your main base, what do?
We recall, obviously, in 3, 2, 1.
Yeah. He could EMP it. He could EMP it.
No,
I didn't. He didn't EMP it, man.
Could have EMP it.
Oh, but now he EMPs those, gets a few disruptors for his troubles, does blow up on the way, but... Oh.
Right. Well, that wasn't too bad, but important to note also that while all this is going on, Vindicta is doing a really good job behind this to expand and just continue to situate his infrastructure on his side of the map. So I think this game looks pretty good, right? Just looking at the minimap for Vindicta.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think Vindicta's handling it well. Economically, he's been good too. Oh, that's a big hit. But his macro's actually been very good, hasn't it?
Yeah, this was great targeting from DisK as well, though, taking note of which of those medevacs were loaded. No question there of which medevac the units were in.
No, definitely. That was quite nice for buying DisK some time. The thing for DisK that kind of sucks for him is the fact that his probe count's been so low the entire game. Like I don't think he really went beyond 65, whereas Vindicta was like, you know what? We're playing an 80 SCV game. And he's got the orbitals as well. He's been expanding good. He's been trading pretty damn decent. It's been an unusual take. This is quite a big deal. Like, that's a healthy base and a healthy number of SCVs. Maybe in the long run, though, getting rid of some of those SCVs and getting some more power units on the field might be good for Vindicta.
Yeah, playing a 68 SCV game now, but that's okay by him. I mean, he still has the extra economy just from the excess mules. And yeah, this is an interesting little squadron here. Disruptors and Templar.
Certainly is. Oh, this Terran army is actually quite hard to micro. That is a good warp in, but gets him away from that shield battery overcharge and just takes out those units willy-nilly. And oh my god, the EMPs, they land, and he's fighting in the liberation zones. He's taking out a lot of these Liberators. Oh man, these guys are really going at it.
Yeah, a lot of those Liberators do take a lot of Stalkers to the grave, and now if we look at the supply, it's 50 in favor of your boy, Vindicta, and again, the map looks very red to me. You know, the other day I said the map looks really purple, and I think I had like allied colors on, because yeah, we only see red and blue usually, or maybe I meant like the combination. In any case, oh, a lot of those Disruptors were full, and I think this is the end, Vince. Take it away.
I think it is the end too, Cats. Thank you for giving it me right now. We do have the Immortals trying to crab walk away. And are they going to be able to get away? No, don't look like it, Cats. They're all dead, and the little boy in that hoodie.
Are you going to take it away or no?
I'm trying. I'm trying. All right.
Oh, definitely took it away.
So that hoodie looks like it's staying on. By the way, I did give you that little clip for you to, appreciate and admire the fact that Moon probably didn't know where the path was. So
and that's the fifth race they go, or the fourth race they call them in Warcraft, right? Like basically one of the greatest strategists of all time.
Well, he just had cat syndrome where he didn't know where the path was. And fifth race cats. Because if it was the fourth,
because there's I see.
If it was the fourth race in Warcraft 3, he'd just be Night Elf, which he was.
Wouldn't he be undead? Because
maybe I don't know which one
would be
was
like
which.
the first race.
Night Elf was the first.
In terms of power, no? You're a human player, yeah?
Oh, you mean in power? Then it.
Mm-hmm.
I think undead is currently regarded as the best. You looking at the Veiling Bomb?
Can we show that on stream?
I mean, I wish we could.
My god, this is the GSL, by the way, the highest caliber tournament at that point.
I was so surprised you hadn't seen that before because it's
no. I saw it probably back then, but back then I probably thought, unlucky.
Just none of it makes sense.
I don't know. Yeah,
none of it makes sense. Just like I don't know how. Okay, I mean, just from memory, it's like 8 Banelings all spaced out as far as possible. Not going to do anything. And
no. It was I mean, have you revisited games in general from back then, though?
Oh yeah, I always.
I mean, they are just dreadful.
Like, weekly, I have a demo movie night where I watch all my greatest moments, and they're all terrible.
yeah, I bet. And I mean, even like whatever the tournament game is, like for the GSL, like the championship match or whatever, like MVP versus whoever, like those games were so bad. But I mean, either one of these players, for example, would just completely shatter Fruit Dealer. In the top right-hand side, it is the red Terran player for the Cranky Ducklings, Vindicta.
I think maybe if he lost the game, then he would adjust his hoodie. And spawning over in the bottom left as our blue Protoss on Glittering Ashes, it is DisK. I was also kind of very like that, a little bit superstitious. So like say if stuff's going really well for me in the tournament or like games in general, I would, let's say I shaved a certain way in the morning. I'd continue doing that each morning, or like, oh, that t-shirt's a really good lucky t-shirt and maybe, I'll wear it again,
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, you didn't have any of that?
No, not really.
Uh-huh.
Not that I can recall anyway.
Maybe that's why you couldn't land your Banelings properly.
Yeah, maybe that was my issue.
Just wasn't superstitious enough.
Yeah, maybe that's why you made that one comeback with your at IPL 3 or whatever, with your 2 Banshees. No SCVs left.
Oh, that was a sick game.
Disgusting.
Sick game. Actually, that was on demo movie night as well.
Oh, really?
I don't really have demo movie night.
I mean, if anyone had a movie night of their greatest moments, I feel like it would be you, no?
Yeah, probably. I remember staying at Rhett's house one time, or like his apartment, and I remember him bringing up with me one time. He's like, Ben, I don't want to watch another one of your replays, okay? Because I'd be like, Cat, or I'd be like, Rhett, come watch this. He's like, God damn. He'd come and satisfy me every time, and I thought he enjoyed it, but he finally broke, and he's like, come on, man, not again.
Yeah, Yos is amazing. He's a sweetheart until he's just direct. He's fantastic. He's great.
He's definitely one of the people that I miss. But anyhow, let's see what we can get done. Hold on. So this game thus far, a bit of a probe kill in the base there. Reaper opening for Vindicta. It's a very safe opening by him. Actually goes Reaper, Marine before the reactor, so very safe against any weird shenanigans. And he does have an SCV over in the top left waiting there. I think this could definitely be some proxy starport shenanigans this game.
It looks like it. It's pretty far away though, no? Like, what's the point of that location?
So I think he can eventually move it closer. Oh, it's an armory. Okay. So it is going to be some cloak widow mines going on here.
Cool.
Definitely a cool opening by him. Oh, he's against Oracle.
Yeah, this makes a little bit more sense to me because if it's a proxy starport, like is he actually gaining any distance? And then you have to fly it back to your main or have it be exposed. Oh, the Reaper will fall.
Like, even if DisK does kind of scout this continuously with this Adept, he won't say anything. And you could be like, well, you could just have an armory in the back of your base, right? Well, you're far more likely to scout in the back of your base, especially when you got something like an Oracle. This Widowmine position, by the way, if he puts a few SVs on that, could be kind of baity, matey.
Yeah, but
Sees it.
not to be this time around. Now he's going to run the SUVs towards it, but the Oracle's already well aware of what's going on. So a similar moment the other day with the Cyclone, right? It's like your opponent knows, like Vindicta did not readjust his other Widowmine. He seems to also not readjust this one. Like he's still hoping that his opponent didn't see, but we can be pretty sure that his opponent saw it. You know? Like at some point you just gotta uproot it and put it somewhere else, no?
I mean, I always give my opponents the benefit of the doubt. As in, like, it's good to assume that they probably did. Whereas,
Yeah.
So if players do that against me and they don't move it, I'm always like, man, do you think I'm stupid? Like, I obviously see that.
Oh,
those are AFK.
those are AFK.
Oh, but he was baiting.
I don't think he was.
He was pretending he thought he was stupid earlier, and then he's like, "Oh no, I misclicked here, didn't I?" It was nice play.
Yeah.
Just didn't work out. Just didn't work out, mate.
It's like
This is NA big brain gaming over here, okay?
like a self-stasis ward type thing. It's like, oh look, I'm stasis warded, and it's like, oh.
Oh no. Yeah, exactly. You know, sometimes we watch super brains happen, and sometimes, you know, just like the Baneling path, we don't understand it at the time. Then it's
You're gonna latch onto that. I love it. I am not ashamed, man.
you shouldn't be. You shouldn't be.
Yeah, I was a pathfinder, if anything. Okay.
Pathfinder.
Like literally, yeah. I was exploring with the paths. Like if someone else was doing it already, I wouldn't have needed to even inquire about what the path might be.
Man,
Moon and I, man.
if we didn't have people like you in the scene, we wouldn't have learned how to cross maps in this game, you know, for a long time.
Yeah, because everyone would have been like just staring.
We'd
at
have been like,
screen,
"Oh my god, how do I
one
leave my
hex by one
base,
hex."
dude? There's a ramp there, but I don't know where it leads."
Exactly.
This game's definitely going a lot better for this though than the previous one. I feel like none of the weird shenanigans really did much, and the 3-Rex opener as well from the previous. In fact, hold that thought. That is Strilling Claw Widowmines, but actually didn't get a lot done. That was well done by DisK, because he had to react super fast.
Yeah, the Widowmines will burrow once again, though, and there isn't an observer out yet. I mean, the row is not completed yet, so still a little bit of damage to potentially be done, as the Oracle has something to say about that. Will reveal one of the Widowmines, not the more dangerous one, but it has been accounted for. One probe will give its life for the cause.
You know what? Overall, though,
What?
you can be like, that was pretty damn well handled. Like, that was meant to be more of a, gotcha from Vindicta, like, meant to deal a lot of damage. But, yeah, definitely some nice reactions. And DisK this game, he's like, you know what? The Storm play didn't really work out for me that well. I'm going to mix it up. I'm going to go for the Robo Bay and a second Robo much earlier. I think this play just seems to feel more solid, right?
Yeah. It seems pretty legitimate to me. And here comes the Stalkers. They're going to poke at the third. Kill a mule. That's pretty nice. Try to get a marine on the way out. Now they're gonna get caught. Actually, gotta be careful. I guess there's no concussive shells there. Vindicta chooses not to pursue in any case. These Widowmines are nasty. Ooh, just 6 actually. I thought it would be much worse.
I thought it was. When I saw the 6 number, I was like, that was from the first one. And then I saw the second one shot as well. I was a bit surprised.
Yeah. They must have targeted like nearby the same probe or something.
Either way, it was not bad. They haven't been dealt with either. I wonder if DisK even knows. I mean, it is a bit of a chaotic game thus far. It looks like the one in the main is going to get another shot off. Okay,
another one.
3. Boom.
Good eye. 3 on the other side as well.
There's
Good
another
eye,
one?
might.
Oh, you turn British.
That's good eye is British, right?
Might be Australian. I'm really bad with accents.
But you're British, though. You would know, no?
Sometimes. Not if they're as good as the accent that you just did, you know?
Good eye, might.
2. Oh, one
Oh,
move.
that was not a good eye, might.
No. Oh, either way. I feel like all these little things that happen, I feel that Vindicta does a good job of being a nuisance and just getting ahead in supply a little bit. I get more scared for DisK the longer the game goes on, rather than Vindicta, which is weird because very often in PvT, I feel the other way round usually.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Well, it's PTSD, cats, you know?
I think it is, yeah. I think you just see the Protoss race as the more intimidating race, but
Like people
definitely
look
in
at,
the game.
yeah, people look at me and they're like, oh, look, it's Voldemort, but they don't realize why I became Voldemort. Like,
Why did you?
because of Protoss. Literally made me stressed out so hard that I became bold, cats.
That is so sad, Benny. You
I
had
know.
a beautiful head of hair.
For the few years I had it, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's all good. Oh, poor Oracle. Finally got caught out by a Widowmine over there. All right, let's see. Where are we at this game? 69 probes for DisK. Nice.
Nice.
We got Double Forge going for him. Colossus with the upgrades coming online. Vindicta with a lot of upgrades as well. Vindicta's getting ready with multiple drops, by the way. I like his game plan overall of just kind of causing a lot of chaos with different types of units everywhere.
Yeah, we have a warp prism as well. I almost feel like we're frozen in time. Like no one's doing anything. Everyone just has their move ready. But no one's pulling the trigger here.
I like that. We're frozen in time. But Vindicta's, he broke out.
Why do you like that? That we're frozen in time?
It just made me think of Demolition Man. Have you seen that movie?
I have not.
Oh, mate. It's a cracker.
Ooh, that warp prism almost gets taken down. Survives with 1 HP to the random
By
turret
the-
out on the map.
Yeah, that's the most random turret of all time. But it actually was really useful. And
Yeah,
this?
I think this is like the influence of Special. I see Special do quite a few of those like random turrets out on the outskirts.
Oh, mate. I got your armory over here, bruv.
Bruv. Now on the
Oh.
other side, DisK finally looking for a transition. He is maxed. Is this the scariest moments you reckon, Mike, for DisK?
You mean when he just lost 16 probes? It's definitely kind of scary, yeah.
I just meant in general, like army composition wise, though. Like if the army's
Oh.
fight right now, it feels like he's lacking a lot of the complexity that will come from the Stargates and whatever else he transitions into.
I don't know. I feel like DisK, he starts off kind of aggressive. Then he's like, you know what, I'm going to sit back a bit, which it doesn't feel to me like he's the kind of guy that wants to be sitting back. And it just looks like it feels a bit foreign to him. But in general, I think his army's pretty solid. Like I really do. But yeah, he's frozen in time, man.
He's frozen in time. my friend.
Oh, he breaks out again.
He's gonna break out of his prison, and now on the other end, DisK is trying to push out. There's gonna be some Liberator here sieging his own main in order to clear out the Zealots. And DisK for the first time kind of getting out on the map right now, spreading his wings.
That warp prism will meet its end. It's a speedy prism, by the way. But carriers on the way. +1 air weapons on the way as well. And DisK finally able to kind of get out from his quadrant to the map. And yeah, it's... What?
I love the single probe just poking at the armory. It's just been there by itself. It's half HP already, the armory, just from the probe.
Yeah, the little probe that could, man. The little probe that could. Okay.
What about
so-
what about the transition though? Carriers.
I mean,
Talk
carriers are always good, man. Carriers are almost never bad against Terran. But
How many do you need, or does it matter?
I mean, can you ever have too much of a good thing, cats?
No, but can you have like too little of a good thing?
I mean, I guess one carrier's too little if you're going carry.
Yeah, I mean, there you go. So we've established a minimum baseline. So one carrier's not good.
I mean, 0 carriers is not good.
Okay. Zero carriers. So one carrier is carriers is definitely the way, is what you're saying.
I mean, very often I lose games before carriers even become a thing, honestly. But yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what he does. Because if this count gets up to let's say 6, then he's in then Vindicta's in a world of trouble because it's just very hard to deal with.
All right. Well, this Widowmine's gonna connect onto one of the disruptors. Next disruptor will get the next Widowmine. So good eye from DisK as well. These zealots are not gonna find anything. There's a bunker and Widowmines. Niall quick to it. There's nothing to see here. They're gonna walk straight into the natural. However, might find something there as this altercation starts in the left side of the map. A little bit of a poke here.
Yeah, he's a bit late on the EMP there. He did EMP the Nexus. Oh. Okay. Feels like DisK is starting to get a bit of confidence here in this situation.
Love to see it. There's gonna be a nice snipe onto one of those medevacs, and this contingent of carrier Colossus Stalker is gonna look to push on this side of the map. Where's the rest of the army, though? I feel like you can't just sit defensively with the rest of it, right? You have to poke at the other side, or?
You mean if you're DisK?
Yeah.
I do. It's kind of tricky when you're against somebody like Vindicta who wants to be aggressive all the time, because you feel like if you move out with everything, you're in trouble. But I also think that DisK at this point, he can start to afford things like Dark Shrine for defensive warpins, which are always difficult to deal with, and a lot of static defense. And
makes sense.
Yeah, we'll see what he keeps on going for. He's getting good upgrades on these carriers, +2, very close to finishing. And he's got big upgrades on his ground forces as well. And this observer, by the way, that observer that these medevacs just flew by, has seen everything the entire game. It's been very clutch for him.
Very, very clutch. So, yeah, it's kept up good vision. Very good perimeter being set up here by the triple watchtower, whatever it's called, sensor towers.
Certainly as more Liberators coming down. Also getting double armory upgrades for those air units and more Ghost Academies coming down. Wow. Okay, this game's going all the way, man. We're going to start seeing nukes and everything this game.
Can't wait for some nukes. This is actually bananas here. The map is going to be split. Marines are going to load into the medevac and now try to go to the natural base expansion. Stalkers blinking forward into their eventual deaths against the Marauders. They need to be aided by additional Stalkers and instead turn around on the Marauders. Now the Liberators having to reposition here.
This is always very tough if you're the Liberator guy. There is one thing that's actually very nice for him, and it's the fact that he's not against any sort of storm, because then you can actually kind of A-move with your air units. You're not worrying about clumping up too much, because one weakness of carriers is just having all your interceptors out, and then the Liberators just blow them all up, and then it's like, wow, just got blimps in the sky that aren't doing anything. And Vindicta looks like he's very willing to play the long game. What's his Ghost Academy count at? He's at 2 so far, making a 3rd. Yeah, he's absolutely going to start nuking soon. And Vindicta, given that he's got so many bases here, that's going to be a lot of targets available.
Yeah, and I mean, he made a statement last time around by going for a similar army composition. It didn't work out, as the carriers kind of ended up overpowering the amount of anti-air that Vindicta had to work with. Do you think he could ever run into that problem?
Where what, sorry?
Just not having enough anti-air for the carriers? Are the Liberators really going to cut it here? Because it seems a little risky to just put all your chips on these guys are going to kill all the interceptors before the carriers kill me.
I personally like the Marrow approach, where you make a lot of turrets to kind of tank and deal with the interceptors, and then you use a ton of Vikings, and you really go for that Viking blob. And you get Liberators and tanks to deal with things like Stalkers and what have you, EMPs to make sure that you can't be jumped on. Because this one, yeah, it is very much I hope you don't play a certain way against this. Because as soon as any sort of switch comes out, these Liberators, even though they're good against Stalkers with the +2 and they're good against the carriers, everything else, you can only be in one place at a time.
Indeed. Are they good enough against the carriers is what my question is, I guess.
Yeah, I
Penny.
think so. I think so.
It's only 6, right? It's not like mass carrier only, I guess.
Yeah, I really think they can do the job. And honestly, this kind of game, you don't see super often. Like, this game could literally come down to one fight going super bad for either one of them, and then the game's over. But we could also see Vindicta land some nukes, and this is NA, man. You never know what these boys are capable of.
You never know, really. And yeah, this timing has taken a lot of the map here. Vindicta also doing the same thing. And continuing to posture, it seems like neither player is really willing or too eager to engage onto the other. And understandable tension, I guess, right? Like there's always the potential that a fight could end the game.
Certainly is, certainly is. Little Ghost running away is caught by the Observer. So DisK gets to see, and he's going to have a nuke land on him pretty soon. Doesn't really accomplish much over there, but a nuke at the army, at least trying to.
Uh-oh. Houston. Uh-oh. He don't know. Uh-oh. He don't know.
He actually, I don't think he did know.
Yeah, he clipped one of the carriers. I think he knew towards the end, probably, right? But I don't think he always knew. There wasn't that sense of urgency. Who knows, though? Here comes the Liberators, and they are going to try to attack the Interceptors like we were talking about. The EMP goes on to the majority of the Stalkers. The one Immortal is going to fall at the front, or is he? It looks like he will survive. Or she.
Yeah, no, it can't be picking. All right. I after seeing how those Liberators did that fight and how Vindicta was using them, I don't have that much faith in them. I think I really hope he just kind of buckles down on the Vikings a little bit, 'cause otherwise his army becomes so difficult to control here, and this army is so mobile as well, right? Oh, where are they going?
I guess they're just being suicided at this point.
That's a pretty good choice. Vindicta's done a good job of expanding over to the right side, even taking that bottom base as well.
Yeah. Suicide for those SCVs was the right choices. They really just don't collaborate, don't do anything anymore. And here, there is going to be a nice takedown of this base at the 12 o'clock. DTs, another one, double takedown. This is going to be a huge hindrance on the economy of Vindicta as this little squadron of units is going to die. How many of these buildings will fall? Any?
3. Damn. Like 2.
Like 1.5.
Yeah. Close. You know,
close.
Nukes
okay.
themselves have pretty small area for the big damage. It like kind of fades off pretty damn quickly. Like I think it's 300 on the center of impact, and then it goes down quite a bit.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that.
At least I think so.
Yeah.
It's important to sound confident when you say things.
Is it? That's like the opposite of my philosophy almost.
To not sound confident? Oh, these poor Liberators, man. Look at them. It feels bad when you're killing 15 mineral units but losing very expensive units.
There's going to be a little bit of a ghost here being killed. Meow! Not happy about that one. Very dramatic, inspired by the Brood War ghosts.
And let's have a look at the resources lost tab as well. Like this game just hasn't. This looks like a totally different game because Vindicta in the game before looked totally in control, whereas this game looks like nothing's been able to work for him, and his army just isn't made to deal with that.
Yeah, that's what it feels like more and more, right? But this is what happened last time as well. I believe it was against Neeb or. I was against a Protoss player that went for carriers, and then Vindicta made Liberators, and he kept making a lot of Liberators, and then he got attack moved, and he died.
That's a nice story.
It was pretty much what it came down to, because otherwise the game was kind of like this, very competitive, you know, very like on all fronts type thing. It felt to me like it was just decided on, this is the army that it's like, you know, it's like you're choosing like a Charmander against a Squirtle type thing, you know? And it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
But you don't watch Pokemon, huh?
No, I did. I was just thinking about that guy's name that always, whatever I'd pick. If I was Squirtle, he'd pick Bulbasaur. If I picked Bulbasaur, he'd pick Charmander. And I was thinking of his name. Was it Gary?
Yeah, Gary.
Yeah, what a loser. And he's still lost.
Yeah, only the difference is that in this game, DisK is like, Charmander, I choose you! And Vindicta's like, what gets countered? Bulbasaur! And it's like, whoa. Like, are you sure? Are you sure you want to pick Bulbasaur here?
Well, I bet you were a Charmander guy, right?
I don't know that I had one of those as my favorites. I'm too hipster for one of the basic Pokemons.
Were you like Kevin and waited until Pokemon Yellow?
Oh yeah, I never played those. I never played those games.
What?
I just watched Pokemon. Yeah, I just watched Pokemon, and I played the Pokemon card game at some point, like Wardy, but the first expansions. There was like some Team Rocket expansion.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
You're a Zoomer.
I am no what? I am the opposite of a swimmer.
I don't think you are, man.
Yeah. I guess like everyone played the games more than watch the shows or play the card game, right? Like I'm the odd one for sure.
Oh, dude, yeah. Like,
Oh, that was a big bully.
I remember kids that didn't have a Game Boy to play Pokemon were weird kids on my playground.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Proper snobs.
I see. That's interesting.
Hey, these Liberators are actually starting to do a lot, man.
I was about to say, yeah, maybe this was not Bulbasaur all along. Maybe this is Pikachu. Has no counter.
Dude, Vindicta was Gary all this time.
He was. And now this couple of Liberators are being annoying. I think you just gotta take the fight if you're DisK. What happens if you spread out the carriers? Do the Interceptors also spread out when they come out? Are they all coming from the same source, basically? Does that favor the Liberators?
No. Interceptors will still come from their individual carriers, cats.
I know
what you're asking.
like,
I'm just being
Oh
obtuse.
my god. Benjamin.
Yeah, he should. If he splits up his carriers, then yeah. But will he? Actually, that was one of my favorite things as well. Also a Zest clip. It was like back in the day where Raven Seeker, like the Seeker missile, would be AoE damage, like the anti-armor, for 30 damage. And somebody showed like Zest not splitting at all and losing his army and being like, look, it's Imba. And I remember watching it from Zest's point of view a few times. And Zest didn't even try and split, man. It was freaking ridiculous. And I was like, God damn it. Bloody Protoss players getting stuff nerfed. These DTs are doing work, man.
They are doing fantastic. And at this point, I mean, the game looks pretty good for DisK, minus the big question mark that is this team fight. Because it's like, like it's not unit compositions that we see clash that often, but there is so many Liberators that I can't imagine that, like there's so many... just focus fire the Liberators, or what do you focus fire here? Do you just need Storm, like kill the one ghost, then storm that thing, and then it's good?
I think the Tempest edition's really good because now it's like, all right, you have to come fight me, and DisK still has quite a bit of supply that he can use on stuff. Which what's he gonna make? He's making a few more probes here. I don't think that's entirely necessary with the bank he has, but hey, better safe than sorry to replenish. And the Tempests are going to be ridiculously hard to deal with.
All right, well, yeah, they're being pretty nauseous right now. They're doing great at killing some Liberinos here and there. And yeah, Vindicta's pretty low on... Yeah, more nukes, but what else?
That might hit the Ghost a bit. And look, he's going to...
So?
Yeah.
They did, yeah.
And look, weak. Did 75 damage to himself.
A suntan.
A suntan?
The Ghost.
Yeah, bit of radioactivity on that bad boy. Looks like he just kind of spent a day in Chernobyl.
Yeah. Not sure. Is that joke okay?
Well, but you just went and visited.
Yes.
I think it's okay.
I'm gonna go with yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with yes too. All right, more nukes going down. I mean, if you survive a nuke, you're doing pretty well, I think. That nuke's definitely killing himself. Yeah.
Oh, that's so sad. This one didn't have nearly as dramatic of a yell, though.
If you pick the female ghost skin, she has the loudest scream.
Oh, really?
Which is kind of messed up.
It's a little messed up, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a little messed up. But She's also got the smallest figure. So when she's cloaked and you see the little blur, it's slightly smaller. So I used to always use that against people.
That is interesting. Don't you get like only one of them every 100 ghosts that you make or something?
One female? No, if you pick them female, they're all female.
Oh, really? I thought Nova was the one that only spawned once every 100, but yeah, here comes the big fight. I mean, this is kind of important, I guess, as now the big fight is taking place. Vindicta 130 supply, it's not looking too hopeful, and it looks like the Protoss army will attack the Terran army and most likely defeat it, but it's looking kind of close. But does it matter? I mean, there's $5,000 in the bank for DisK, never mind gas.
Mate, this is actually a really sick fight to watch between these two. Like, it looks close, and Vindicta's army did a really good job, but the thing is, DisK can just remax on anything that he wants. I saw him warp in 17 Stalkers at once. That is... Oh, dude, that nuke. Is it going to work?
It would be cool.
I mean, even if
it would be cool. It would be cool. Oh, come on!
He saw it.
He could afford it as well, you know?
He's not going to give him the satisfaction, no.
GG gets cold.
Oh, the GG nuke. I mean, it happened. It happened.
It did happen.
Honestly, a very fun game between these two.
I enjoyed it, yeah.
At some point, I was a bit worried about DisK playing a bit too careful, a bit too, like, sitting back and letting Vindicta do whatever he wanted. But then he started being like, all right, let's get some DTs out. Let's be annoying on our own accord. And it was just, yeah, pretty solid play.
Yeah, no doubt. And DisK had great play as well. And yeah, both players had amazing play. It's 1-1, Benny, and that means that we have another potentially long macro game between these two. It is indeed exciting. For the first, like, I gotta say though, the first like 15 minutes of that game, it didn't feel like a lot was going on, right? And then a lot of that later game for me was like, I wonder how these armies are actually going to stack up against each other. I think that you were spot on. The Tempests really helped to bring it home here for DisK and force those engagements. Eventual Storm as well to soften things up. But it still leaves the question mark for me of, would the carriers actually do it against that Liberator-based army?
Who knows, Cats? Who knows?
We'll never find out.
We'll never find out. I'm glad that's on your mind. What's on my mind is how did we find out how to cross maps if it was? It's way past my bedtime, Cats, I gotta say.
Oh, same. Oh, you're in Europe, so it's, yeah, I slept like 2 hours, so we're on similar boats. Earlier the chat was saying like, oh, Cats is high. Brothers, I would tell you if I was high, or maybe I wouldn't, but I would at least not bring it up to then deny it. But then I feel like Ben was feeding into it. He was like, oh, you forgot your name? Like, whoa, I did not forget my name. Benjamin.
I just see comments, and I think like, some things are just fun, dude. And what can I say? By the way, the hoodie still hasn't changed from our man.
Oh, it changed. You jinxed it right away.
Dude, it changed.
Yeah, I told you, he just needed to lose. And the top right-hand side of the map, it is DisK.
Superstition, man.
I don't know if it's superstition. I think it's just like an ego thing where it's like, oh, like I'm not trying, and now it's like I'm trying. That's why I lost. But I don't know. We can give it any story we want. Really, only Vindicta knows. I just know that if you had taken my bet, I would have won.
Are you gonna let me intro him?
Go ahead.
That's fine. It's spawning her in the bottom left. Definitely a superstition thing. It is Vindicta.
So my issue there was that I actually didn't have the Nial camera hotkey. So I was just on DisK's screen the entire time.
Sorry, man. You only had 2 hours of sleep.
I haven't slept in a while. Yesterday I did sleep 11 hours, but Zombie Grab is right because she pointed it out. I have not been sleeping much since I started keto, I think.
Yeah, you should definitely have a muffin.
Oh, stop! I love carbs.
I mean, you brought this upon yourself, Cats.
Yeah.
Like for real.
No, yeah, actually. But I mean, at the same time, when I do get to have carbs, it's gonna be the best. You know, sometimes you gotta just do that, like reset your baseline and be like,
Yeah, but
torture yourself a little bit.
Aren't you not allowed to do that now with keto?
Yeah, I'm not allowed to do that until I stop ketoing. I don't intend to keto forever.
Are you sure?
Well, I mean, even if I did decide to make it a lifestyle, I would probably still have like a cheat day a month or something eventually.
But that's against the whole point of keto. Isn't keto like to reset the system entirely?
Well, like I think you enter the state of ketosis like after a certain period of time. So you can
ketosis.
exit and enter again, yeah. Ketosis is like...
Is that the scientific term?
Yeah, yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah,
No,
like,
it isn't.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's like you operate on ketones, which are produced by your liver rather than your stomach. A lot of people think it's super, like, you know, I'm sure there's a debate in chat about like how it's not healthy for you, and some people swear by it. But my source is actually Kiwikaki, and that guy invented the mothership, the Vortex. So if he says it's fine,
is it really Kiwikaki?
Yeah, he swears by it. He does a lot of research though, and I really trust him. I'm not one to research, you know. Like I like data. I don't like gathering data though. So like if Kiwikaki gives me data, I trust him. He's my friend. He's very smart, I think. And he invented the mothership Vortex. So
to be fair, the last time that I saw him, he was looking mighty healthy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, and he looks amazing right now. And he says like the acne in his back disappeared as a product of keto. That he can, you know, that he is stronger than ever before. And yeah, like he is ripped now. So, you know.
This sounds a little bit like, I don't want to say a pyramid scheme, but, you know.
Well, I mean, what's the pyramid scheme? He's not selling me anything.
It doesn't sound like that to me.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't profit from it, is my point.
That's what you think. That's the true pyramid schema philosophy. To make you think that he's not profiting, but he
right.
is.
I mean, he's in Canada, you know, like, yeah, definitely not.
Yeah, those guys are scandalous.
Yeah, he's recommending that I eat sheep cheese now instead of regular cheese. I'm not sure what that's about. He always has like the weirdest recommendations, but I always consider them.
And then you look at that cheese packet, and it's like owned by Kiwikaki Cheese Farms.
Owned by Kiwikaki, yeah.
The long con.
Incredible.
Actually, if there was any player to come back to StarCraft 2, who would you like it to be?
Nesty?
Oh, nice call, nice call.
Yeah. What about you?
I said Life.
Oh, okay. We're spicy right now. No sleep, no sleep.
No sleep, no sleep. I only say that because of, you know, it's always in my head a what could have been kind of thing. But yeah. Okay.
Related then, did you know we had an opportunity like for Root to recruit Savior?
Oh, really?
Yeah, but it was too bad PR. Like we like checked, you know, because we actually cared about, like we had a Hearthstone team and stuff, and like, but Savior did make a comeback, kind of like where he started playing StarCraft 2. And yeah, we considered it. We were like, oh, Root Savior. I mean, Savior used to be, you know, my idol until he match fixerino, which is code for match fixing.
Yeah, probably not a good look for your team to recruit the pioneer of match fixing.
Yeah, like the father of match fixing. But at the same time, it's like Savior also. You know, it's like basically life of Brood War.
Yeah.
Like imagine, you know, you're saying you want Life to come back.
Yeah, but I wouldn't recruit him to my team.
It's very similar. You wouldn't recruit him to your team? Like even if he was like really cheap, you know? Like,
if I got him really cheap?
Like really cheap. And there's that philosophy as well of like any publicity is good publicity type thing, you know?
But I'm not sure that...
Which is untrue.
Yeah,
like I had Destiny on my team and it did not work out, you know?
I mean, you've had a few funny eggs on your team that...
Yeah.
You're just agreeing.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, we've always been, you know, like I don't know, like I feel like we, what? No, very selective orphanage of that.
I've always felt that Root is like the friendly orphanage, you know? Like,
yeah, maybe
don't have
maybe
a
as we were
home.
coming up, we were.
Yep.
I see.
like, you don't have a home, like, oh, everybody left you, it's okay. We're here.
Yeah, it's more like, I mean, like, the way that I perceived EG was like, as you know, EG would just kind of bet on sure bets, whereas we were actively making decisions on the future and on like potential, you know. And I think we remain competitive with that, like with, you know, with like basically no budget by comparison.
Oh, that was a nice feedback. I mean,
Nice.
yeah, that's a nice way of looking at it. I'm gonna stick with the orphanage.
Yeah, fair enough.
Oh, that tank was looking rather lonely. By the way, DisK this game has got himself into such a good spot, man. Like,
Yeah.
we're trolling a little bit and having some lovely times here. Actually, I thoroughly enjoyed this. But
And I'll
DisK is-
remind you, Voldemort, that Harry Potter was an orphan.
You what? Harry Potter was an orphan?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. But he was... Yeah, and...
Yeah.
But he didn't end up
And
on
he
Brood.
defeated Voldemort.
But he wasn't the orphanage.
Basically wasn't the orphanage.
Yeah. So... Yeah, but the orphanage spawned Voldemort.
What?
Yeah.
I feel like you're trying to take ownership of the orphanage now when it's convenient, but...
Mate, I don't want the orphanage. Root's the orphanage, no?
Uh-huh.
Isn't that where we're going with this?
Yeah, if you want Root to be the orphanage, then you have to admit that your arch nemesis, Harry Potter, is an orphan.
So is
Like,
Voldemort.
you've been calling yourself Voldemort all day long.
Yeah,
Voldemort is also an orphan, you're saying?
Yeah.
But he got picked up by EG?
Yeah, that was Hogwarts.
I see.
I mean, you went down this road.
I mean, I've just been watching Harry Potter. Don't test me. Like, I actually watched 2 of the Harry Potter movies in recent history, so...
I mean, to be fair, in fact, I remember growing up in school, and I was the same age as the like class that you follow, like Harry Potter and stuff, as I was going through school, and it was like really cool when a new movie came out because we'd all go watch it. It's like, oh yeah, and then like every girl used to pick a guy that she was into, and we'd all be like, yeah, we like Hermione. You know, it's.
It's like the only girl that gets featured, yeah.
Yeah, for a long time until like movie 4 or something. And then you got I forgot her name
Ginny.
actually. Is it Ginny? Oh, I mean Ginny's
The-
one. Cho Chang,
Cho Chang.
thank you, Zombie Grub, thank you.
Thank you, Zombie Rep.
Oh, by the way, this army of EMPs, that's a lot of EMPs available.
That's a big mine too. Big mine hit. Now the Zealots are gonna charge on forward. Storm on the flank here. Looking pretty decent, but yeah, what's been going on this game? It's close for sure.
You're meant to know.
You're meant to know. I'm not a if it was a Zerg game, I guarantee you I would know.
Oh, you've been too busy talking about your freaking orphanage. All right. I'm a bit surprised that DisK stayed away from the Robotech like Colossus and stuff this game though.
Sure. Yeah, no, I completely agree with that. With that technology. Good EMP here. Onto one of the Archons. Big flank, however, from DisK. Okay. Yeah, I was ready to get excited.
I felt it. Okay,
Yeah,
that
it looked like he
Disruptor.
wanted to go for it.
Disruptor and Storm.
Yeah. Templar will not actually proc the mine. It would have been nice. One of those Zealots will tank it by itself, which is nice. Or himself, herself. Zealots.
Vindicta's very cheeky with this army. And, like, to say he got himself into this situation, I felt it wasn't looking good for him for a while ago, and I still think it's better for DisK. Like, don't get me wrong, but he definitely micros well because he's just like one bad engagement away from like just absolutely getting steamrolled. But he does a very good job of not letting the bad engagement happen, which is actually a really useful skill to have.
For sure. If he keeps not letting the engagement happen, though, it's going to be at the expense of his Nexus soon, right? Like, you can only avoid it so much. There's a little bit of a Zealot run by here, which is nice, and he very much needs it, because if this Nexus falls, actually, DisK is going to be to barely any mining. This, I've just realized, is a very, very close game.
It's super close, and
Yeah.
that disruptor just not getting off. DisK's bank that he has available, and he's getting some good upgrades online as well. 11 SVs do fall, but still not super far behind in workers, which is cool.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of his armies are gonna have to back away, and I can't believe the Nexus actually stayed alive. I feel like maybe there was an opportunity for Vindicta to commit onto it, but because it's so low, right? And if that falls again, like the economy just is shattered for DisK.
Okay. Dark Shrine coming online. 2 Robos, getting 3/3 and Thermal Lance. I think this is kind of like the tilting point here, where DisK's army just starts becoming way better. But as I say that, Liberators with range coming out as well. Like, they both definitely play in a way that's like, they both want to be aggressive, but they're both totally okay with sitting back and letting the game go, which is, yeah, you don't find a lot of Terrans being okay with this at all. And those that are, well, I want to ask them, are they really? Because I'm not sure they know what they're getting themselves into.
I think that was some expert analysis right there. They both want to be aggressive, but they're both okay being passive as well. I mean, I think you predicted the rest of this game.
Thank you, man. Like,
Without a doubt.
What can I say? What can I say?
I mean, let's see what happens here. There's gonna be three medevacs being loaded up, and they're gonna go all the way to the bottom of the map before attempting at anything. I'm not sure why they're going back into their main. The players seem a little confused as well. Just
see, it's not just me. It's not just me. All right.
Just me.
DisK is going for it now. That is a big pro squad. I told you.
He's been wanting to be aggressive. And here he comes. Big EMPs onto a lot of the army here. The disruptors are getting ready to fire. On the other side, there's those 3 medevacs, perimeter of pylons, and a fresh probe out on the map will spot him. However, is there a recall available, Benny? There is no need.
Oh, that's... Okay, that follow-up was nice there. Does get a medevac for his troubles, along with a bunch of bio here. And he can just kind of remax on better units after losing just a couple of Stalkers.
Yeah, but that was really sad. Earlier we were talking about how, like, you need to know, for example, in the Stalker versus Stalker, like how many Stalkers you need to kill a Stalker, right? Like, without upgrades, it's like 10 Stalkers, for example. Like 10 Stalkers kill Stalker. I think the medevac is in a similar position there, because I think there was 8 or 9 Stalkers, and they all shot at the medevac, at each medevac once, and it was and they were both 1 shot away from killing it. So 1 more Stalker from this there would have killed 2 full medevacs, which is sad.
Certainly is, but DisK is doing a lot of eco damage behind this. Lots of disruptor balls came in from multiple angles there, dealing nothing. The Colossus, that one Colossus is, I can't believe it's still alive. Okay, just get left behind.
Yeah, and the Stalkers at least disengage before you know, like overprotecting that Colossus could have been a big problem for those Stalkers, because they do not stand a chance against the army. So they let the Colossus die eventually, and this continues to be an extremely close game. Who do you favor, Benny?
I think I favor DisK. Even though the situation right now, it looks like it's pretty damn even. I just feel that this late game army is one that's far more achievable. And it felt like if it does get to the carriers and Vindicta goes for his Liberator stuff again, I just don't see it working out for him. By the way, you're totally Hufflepuff, right?
What? I haven't taken one of those tests. I would guess.
You guess you're Hufflepuff?
Maybe Hufflepuff or the
Ravenclaw?
Probably not Ravenclaw.
No, you're
a little too aggro.
You're totally Hufflepuff.
Why wouldn't I be the regular people? What are they called?
Regular people?
The Harry Potter and Hermione and Ron.
You said not to test you because you just watched it. Like,
oh my God, yes, but I just, I have Slytherin in my mind because I'm talking to you, so I'm.
And like, the regular people? Do you mean the non-mudbloods, or what are you on about here?
Like I would be a mudblood happily, but no, my house would be Harry Potter's house.
With Dudley?
Just tell me what it is. I forgot.
With Dudley?
With what?
With Dudley? That's Harry Potter's house. All right, it's Gryffindor, cats. It's Gryffindor, okay?
Thank you. Jeez, yeah. Gryffindor or Hufflepuff? Hufflepuff always loses, though. No.
Yeah, Hufflepuff suck, dude.
Yeah, but they're nice, right? Like that's their thing. Is they're just generally nice. Fear Dragon would be Hufflepuff.
Oh yeah, you and Ravi would be Hufflepuff.
Both of us would be Hufflepuff. Huh?
Yeah. I think
you're Slytherin.
You think I'm Slytherin?
I mean, I think everyone knows you're Slytherin. Come on.
I am Voldemort.
That's
that's a beautiful position for that Liberator. That's going to be super annoying.
Mm-hmm. I think I can be Slytherin as well.
I think Jess might be Ravenclaw.
What is Ravenclaw? What is their thing?
Honestly, the movies don't really mention Hufflepuff or Ravenclaw a great deal.
Pretty much, right? Yeah, they just
They're kind of... Actually, maybe Jess might be Gryffindor.
Yeah, I could see that. Jess, what do you think you are?
You're Hufflepuff.
She identifies as a Hufflepuff.
That's great. Oh my God,
big.
So many DTs.
Yeah, DTs are the most Slytherin unit in the game.
Actually, yeah, you might be right.
Yeah, for sure.
Or High Templar in a kind of weird way.
I don't see it, no.
Mate, have you not seen the wizards when they cast Storm and stuff? Like, whoa.
Yeah, but what makes you think Slytherin are the only ones that can cast Storm?
Well, they're the only ones that say Avada Kedavra, right? It's basically feedback. Boom, dead.
Avada Kedavra? I don't remember that.
Oh my God, which movies did you watch?
Abracadabra? That's not Harry Potter.
You're going to tell me like, oh, well, Gandalf was in it? I'm like, mate, that's not the right movie.
Big EMP onto everything here.
Holy
crap. A lot of
crap.
disruptor shots are going to go out, but none are going to connect pretty much. One remaining, but it's not going to connect either. The Liberator does get taken down on the retreat. As DisK had a couple of cool moves during this conversation, just to recap what has been going on, since Ben hasn't been paying attention, I gotta say, DTs sniped a planetary fortress while DisK was taking additional bases.
I'm glad you get to fill us all in.
Yeah.
All right, lots more medevacs being made, plus 2 air weapons being finally added here for Vindicta. And that's one of those things that just, in the chaos of this game and the fact that he's been kind of so skint the whole time.
Red hair and a hand-me-down robe.
Are you
You know,
that's Draco,
what
yeah.
Malfoy says to you. Might
Yeah, that's what Draco says.
Yeah, to Ron. You must be a Weasley.
Okay. I know which movies you watch now.
Yeah. Oh. Well, the first 2, I would watch them in order if I was to watch them. Okay, here's a little bit of a solid flank here. The Stalkers are going to blink on forward, going to find some stuff. The army of Vindicta is still clumped up, but here come the DTs, and those are nasty. The EMP is beautiful from Vindicta there to take care of those. And another blink.
I'm giggling about you doing the Draco mouth. I've never actually heard anybody quote that line before. So having you quote Draco Malfoy, I didn't think that was going to happen to me today, but that was great. All right, that's a lot of DTs again, by the way. Like this is a ridiculous game and a ridiculous cast. I love this.
I love this. It is, yeah. I mean, what time is it for you? I want to know.
1:35.
1:35 a.m. in the morning. Damn.
Yeah, and I'm a dad now, so I'm gonna have to get up in 4 hours to look after my boy. So this is totally normal sleep schedule.
Oh wow! Well, you're a trooper. When is Father's Day?
I have no idea.
Really?
Yeah, no clue.
No, I figured you would be the one to note when Father's Day is right away. There's a nice drop here from Vindicta.
Yeah, these Stalkers aren't really doing what they're meant to do. A few Zealots are warped in, we'll be able to deal with it. And there is a good bunch of DTs on the bottom, but it looks like there's a lot of red moving down to it. Okay, we'll blink away and try and get away here. But whenever you're in this stage of the game, it's so difficult. Like it's, as a Terran, to try and get out there. When you've got DTs on the map, you've got disruptors, you have to have eyes all over.
Let's see. Does he have eyes all over? I mean, there's a big blink here. Good snipe onto the orbital. Not gonna happen, actually. As Vindicta's gonna answer in turn. And this is another extremely close game, Ben. Extremely close. Like, blow for blow, these two.
They're very nicely matched for some beautiful games. That was a nice little blink away, avoiding the Liberator shots. And Vindicta, like, this is fresh base-wise. He still has quite a bit mining, which is good for him. Can't believe how comfortable he is just being able to just sit by and do his thing. Like, I'm so scared of the game getting here because, yeah, DTs, man, and Disruptors, like, look at... None of this looks nice to play against, right? No matter what kind of sadist you are, but Vindicta must love pain, man.
Yeah, he must love pain. I do think that everyone has a little bit of a pain threshold. Like, I love spicy food, for example. Oh, this is going to be a huge EMP. A couple of those DTs will get taken down as the rest try to escape, but these players are tired as well. And there comes the rest of the army. He's going to go after the CC snipe. It's important. He gonna get it. But losing a lot of supply in the process.
You think the players are tired as well?
Yeah, I mean, they've played a very long series at the end of the day, and it's not even the end of the day.
No, it's not. There's another series.
This is our longest day yet. Yeah. It is, right? Our longest day yet? It has to be.
What would Draco say?
What would Draco say?
I'm just hoping you do another Draco impression.
I don't have any more lines. It's just the Weasley one. It's the one that got me.
Oh, damn it. All right, Carriers coming out 23 minutes into this one. Vindicta feeling that he can move out across the map to the middle, the halfway point a little bit. The MPs are juicy.
I'm trying to remember, like, I won't. I'm trying to remember at some point, like, right after the Weasley comment, you know, like, Draco's, like, really mean. Oh, crap. There comes another Disruptor shot. It's going to connect as there's a big flank. This might be the ending moments of this game, Ben, so let's actually focus on this. And there's a shield battery overcharged in the back to which this can run. He's been really good at sniping those Liberators on the retreat. And, yeah, things will continue to stabilize.
Yeah,
obviously Draco's thing is to be mean, but yeah.
What?
I was just saying, obviously Draco's thing is to be mean, but like when they're talking to the Weasleys, they're particularly mean. I feel like the Maslers,
yeah, because they go full on like class hating, you know, like they're poor and they're rich.
Yeah,
actually, real assholes, you know.
Real, yeah, it's so douchey. And Draco basically like warns Harry Potter to, like, you gotta look out for who you're hanging out with, you know, or something like that.
Yeah, I think my favorite bit about those early movies is just how bad an actor Daniel Radcliffe is. Like, he's so bad in Philosopher's Stone, which in America,
or something.
In America, it's called the Sorcerer's Stone, you know?
Oh, it's a different name depending on the country?
Only on America.
Oh, interesting.
I think, so I've read this up, it's because they felt that a lot of Americans, like, they would be intimidated by the title Philosopher.
Really?
I think so.
No, please, no.
They felt it would, like, put people off.
This is DreamHack America, Benjamin.
Yeah, but you guys have to know this.
Yeah. I mean, I could see it, is why I laugh.
Yeah, like, so in the rest of the world, Philosopher's Stone. In America, Sorcerer's Stone.
That's very interesting.
These are the facts that we enjoy, you know. And
I had no idea about that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. You should look it up. I'm not joking. All right, taking on this many carriers and that many disruptors. He's gone for the Mass Liberator jobby again, which it's going to be a tough one. I mean, actually, there's not a ton of, like, natural AoE in this army. Like, there's no Colossus or anything like that. Even Archon Splash would be kind of okay. I know there's a lot of EMPs available, but it's kind of brittle.
It is a little bit brittle. And not much going on, though. They're just posturing at the moment, right? Like, how do you do the commentary of the game of StarCraft 2?
How do you commentate? Is that what you're asking me?
Yes.
I'm glad you asked me this question now, like 8 hours into the cast. Like, hey, man, how do we commentate this game?
Yeah.
All right. I mean, like, Vindicta's maxed out. This is a really good wraparound that you're kind of getting. The Disruptor shots are juicy, though. Trying to split out of them.
He's trying to retreat on the back of those disruptor shots, but yeah, actually doesn't get caught, so it's just kind of free damage off of those. A good trade once again for a DisK that now looks to be in a pretty great position, right? If we look at the map, Vindicta has been mostly starved. If we look at the supply, then sure, both players are keeping up. If we look at the army tab, then sure, either one could take a fight. But if we look at the map, if we look at the bank, it's clear to me that DisK is pulling further and further ahead here, Benjamin.
Yeah, definitely. Like, the fact that DisK is getting all these big upgrades online, and every time that he loses a few units, he's just kind of remaxing with better units. I think what I want to see more is like what he's doing right now with these little run-bys and stuff, just making the map difficult to play around.
All right, good blink here. Gonna take down the Liberator. Additional Liberators are getting sieged indeed, as there's continued posturing. I feel like this can really just close this out. Will he do it? And big stim there. Perhaps an opportunity to capitalize. Not to be. DisK just wants to kill one Liberator at a time, I feel like. And fair enough, right? Like, it is a long game. You've invested 30 minutes of your life into it. You best close it out and make sure that you got it.
Certainly. Like, as long as Vindicta keeps being able to focus on the fight, which if it happens on just one screen, he can do, and he's doing it really well. It's when DisK makes a lot of chaos here, there, and everywhere. But yeah, DisK is just sitting back, getting more carriers. It's going to be super powerful.
It's going to be mega giga. Do you think Brits in particular say here and there and everywhere? Because both you and Wardy use that a lot, and the Beatles also do.
And the Beatles as well? Then yeah, I mean, like, when I think about Brits, I think of Wardy and the Beatles.
I mean, I do too, but no, you can't judge me for that. Like, it's just, it is the extent of my exposure to Brits.
I mean, it's natural. For us Brits as well, we also think of Wardy and the Beatles. Like,
You should, yeah.
Potato, they're the same guys. In fact, when we're at one of the events, we saw an old picture of Wardy. He basically looked like a Beatle when he was younger.
What a god.
What a god, what a guy. All right, Tempest coming out. Those were the thing that really helped DisK in Game 2 on Glittering Ashes. So we'll see how that does.
All right, well, there's a blink forward onto the Liberator's zones. Marauder will get clipped. DisK still with a massive bank. Is this enough technology? I mean, the army of Vindicta does look pretty scary. Finally, the Tempests are making their way back into the game. Oh! Huge disruptor shot will clip like 4 of those units. But it was an important 4. It was a lot of the flank that had to retreat, and that allows for the rest of the armies to kind of push on through and get to the heart of the rest of the army, or will they? It's 195 supply to 134, and if we do a countdown down from 10, we should have this game wrapped up in less than that. And with it,